Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining this morning. Start of a new chapter. Let's do Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Giravardhari Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Shodanandana Vrajjana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shlakya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutle Samrupa Kadameyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapadakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Krishna Setam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Scha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namastute Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sutadevi Pranmami Hari Priye Vanchakalpatu Brehascha Kirpa Sindhave Vicha Paditana Pavnebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Dishatarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasti Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Mukam Kroti Vachalam Pangum Langyate Garim Yat Kirpatam Mandashi Gurudin Taranam Paramanandam Adam Shri Chaitanyeshwaram Hariyam Tassat Narayam Namaskritya Naram Cheva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Madhuriyat Nasta Preshabdrishu Nityam Bhavasya Bhagavati Uttam Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Neshtiki. Okay, so that was a wonderful chapter we heard earlier, and now we're in chapter 15. Just want to welcome back Parveen Mataji. Hope you had a wonderful trip, and Prabhu was away for a few days, so hope you had a nice experience wherever you're doing. And let's continue Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. I'm just going to go on the overview to this. Let's have a look. So now Krishna is gone. Arjuna has declared Krishna is gone, or at least in the last chapter, Yudhishthira Maharaj asked the question finally, after a process of elimination, although he knew, what the question should be, he still, tried to prolong it as long as he could. It's not something he wanted to ask, but he did, and then now we carry on chapter 15. So in the verses 1 to 6, Arjun's strong feeling of separation from Krishna. So 1 to 4, various bodily symptoms due to separation. And then 5 to 6, Krishna left me, loss of astounding powers, separation for a moment renders universes void. And then Arjun recalls Lord Krishna's favors and protection. So he's reflecting back, by his mercy, I won Draupadi, conquered Indra, killed Nivat Kavachas. So he's saying that it was all Krishna's help that I was able to do anything. 1823, remembering intimate moments, Arjuna felt void in Krishna's arms. So all this time, Yudhishthira has been speaking. Now Arjuna speaks. 1819, joking and frank talks, Krishna's tolerance. 2021, feels void in separation, defeated by coward, all powers nullified in a moment. Krishna left, and Arjuna no longer had the powers that he used to have, because he no longer actually needed them. Not the way he needed for the Mahabharata Yuddha. So he really didn't need all those powers, and Krishna took them away. And 2023, annihilation of the Yadus due to Brahmana's curse through mutual killing. And those who joined the overview, Haridas Prabhu was saying that they were all strong as Krishna, powerful as Krishna, and you couldn't have so many Krishnas. There's like millions of them, and it wouldn't be appropriate to have so many powerful people, and they weren't necessarily always, in the best behavior, as we saw it anyway. 24 to 27, Arjuna focuses on Lord's instructions and attains transcendence. So 24 to 27, Arjuna accepts everything is Lord's will and remembered Bhagavad-Gita, relief from miseries. 28, 29, mind pacified, remembered Krishna, bhakti intensified. 30, 31, no more entanglement in birth and death. So Yudhishthira retires. 32 to 44, and Kunti liberated. 34, 37, Krishna's disappearance and Kali's entrance. Yudhishthira prepares to leave. Yudhishthira enthrones Parikshit and Vajra. Yudhishthira retires, not depending on brothers, travels to north. Other Pandavas followed, attained Lord's abode. So they all always stuck together. When Yudhishthira Maharaj leaves, they will leave with him. And Vidur back to Pitralok is Yamraj. Draupadi, other Pandavas, Draupadi and Vidur depart. Draupadi, Subhadra attained some results as their husbands, same results as their husbands. And Falshruti for us, hearing this pastime leads to Hari Bhakti. So, all auspicious in Krishna's house. I was just reading this morning that sometimes Krishna creates problems, for our benefit, but then we also create problems which are not for our benefit. So we should rely on Krishna and not our own mind thoughts and the problems that just create our own bad feelings for ourselves. Then there's no need. Just totally rely on Krishna. If there's anything to be had, then just remember that Krishna is doing this and it's for my benefit, and that's it. So Sutta Vacha Evam Krishna Sakha Krishno Bratra Rajana Vikalpitaha Nana Shankas Padam Rupam Krishna Vishlesha Karshitaha. So Sutta Vacha, Sut Goswami said, Evam thus Krishna Sakha, the celebrated friend of Krishna, Krishna Arjun, Bharatra by his elder brother, Rajana King Yudhishthir, Vikalpitaha speculated Nana various Shank Aspadam based on many doubts, Rupam forms, Krishna Lord Shri Krishna, Vishlesha feeling of separation, Karshitaha became greatly bereaved. So Sutta Goswami said Arjuna, the celebrated friend of Lord Krishna, was grief stricken because of his strong feeling of separation from Krishna, over and above all Maharaj Yudhishthir's speculative inquiries. So being too much aggrieved, Arjuna practically became choked up, which was expected. As soon as he declares what's happened, he would just break down. That was expected. And therefore it was not possible for him to reply properly to the various speculative inquiries of Maharaj Yudhishthir. Excuse me. So what caused Arjuna's rejection earlier was none of these material conditions or aspects that Yudhishthira Maharaj had presented earlier, all the questions. It was the strong feeling of separation from Krishna. Arjuna's relationship with Krishna was very strong. He was the closest to Krishna out of all the Pandavas, and this is why Krishna spoke the Bhagavad-Gita to him, and he was on his chariot as well. They love to be with each other. It's like Nar and Narayan, they're like one unit. Nar and Narayan. Sometimes we say he or him, and we're referring to both Nara and Narayan, they're seen as one unit. And that's Arjun, Krishna and Arjun. Due to his strong relationship with Krishna, he was left heartbroken. His best friend had left this world. We experience separation due to attachment. He's going to remember Krishna. Similarly, although we are not attached to Krishna, we can remember Krishna to become attached. In both situations, members of Krishna is useful. Yeah, we're not attached to Krishna, and that's probably why we don't feel the separation from him. Which is actually it's a sort of offense, really, that we don't miss Krishna. In fact, bigger offense was that we wanted to get away from him. And here's Arjun, here's the gopis. They're living. The 6 Goswamis, they were living life in separation of Krishna. They were missing him so much. Even Lord Chaitanya, he was in the mood of separation as well. He's missing Krishna because he's in the mood of Radharani. And until we get that, we're not quite there until we start missing Krishna, which we're not doing at the moment. Shokena Shu Shayad Harit Sarojo Hat Prabha Vibhum Tam Ivanu Smaran Nashaknot Pratipashitum. So Shokena, due to bereavement, Shushuyat Vadan, drying up of the mouth, Rit Sarojaha, lotus like heart, Hat lost, Prabha body luster, Vibhum the supreme, Tam onto Lord Krishna, Eva certainly, Anu Smaran thinking within, Na could not, Ashoknat be able, Prati Bhashitum properly replying. So due to grief, Arjuna's mouth and lotus like heart had dried up. Therefore his body lost all luster. Now remembering the Supreme Lord, he could hardly utter a word in reply. So it's mentioned that in the beginning, Arjun's symptoms were mind reeling, mouth drying up, shaking, dropping the bow that was on the battlefield. And now this is due to excessive material attachment. So at that time, due to his attachment to his relatives, he had all these symptoms. we find there are 8 ecstatic symptoms of pure devotion, ashakt bhavs. These can be produced on materialistic level. Rupa Goswami in the Nectar of Devotion does not use these 8 ecstatic symptoms. These can be produced also on a materialistic level, so they don't qualify someone on the stage of bhav. So somebody can pretend to have those symptoms as well if they wanted to. He gives different symptoms which cannot be emulated on the material platform. So these ecstatic symptoms can be material as well, or somebody can act them. For example, shivering, you can create shivering in the body. You can produce tears. There are people who practice tearing to fake their symptom of love of God. So these symptoms do not qualify, your ecstatic emotions for God. Rupa Goswami says, using your time 24 hours a day, that is a sign of devotion that you cannot fake. So somebody who's pretending, that they cannot pretend 24/7, right? They can only pretend for a little while. They will get caught out eventually. So that's the real sign of devotion, not just having ecstatic symptoms. If somebody is trying to pretend to have ecstatic emotions, they can pretend, but this they can't pretend. So nice. Krishrena samstabhya shucha panina amrjya netroho parokshena samunadha pranayukta kanthaya katraha. So Krishrena, with great difficulty, samstabhya, by checking the force, shucha, of bereavement, panina, with his hands, amrijya, smearing, netraho, the eyes, parokshena, due to being out of sight, samunad, increasingly, pranya uttakantya, eagerly thinking of the affection, katraha, distressed. So with great difficulty he checked the tears of grief that smeared his eyes. He was very distressed because Lord Krishna was out of his sight, and he increasingly felt affection for him. Krishna is all attractive, and how if he's right, physically in front of you, you can imagine the separation you would feel. Now Krishna is for us, he's in the holy name, but because we're not chanting pure, we're not doing pure chanting or offenseless chanting, so we don't feel anything. We don't feel the separation because Krishna is there in the name, but we can't seem to reach him because our offenses are causing a barrier to actually reach him, to see him. But here, Krishna was there, the all attractive was right in front of them, and then he disappears. What a big problem. The gopis, even when Krishna was there, they always lived in anxiety that he might go away, he might leave us. That feeling all the time, even the material life, we get that sometimes, somebody who's very close to us. So and Krishna is all attractive, and they're all living in anxiety, and now Krishna is actually gone, and it's a big problem for him. So pure devotion to Krishna is ever increasing. When you are with Krishna, your devotion increases. When you are in separation from him, that also increases affection. The devotee's capacity to give love and Krishna's capacity to receive love is eternal. That's why devotee will never feel saturated. He will feel, I haven't done enough. Anandam buddhi vardhanam. He's not reached any peaks, because the more you give, the more ecstasy you have. And then the more you want to give. It's like a competition that goes on between yourself and Krishna. When you are giving yourself to him, he gives you the Anandam, and then as you get Anandam, you want to give more to him, and then he gives you more Anandam, and it goes on and on. It's like unlimited. If one is focused and connected to Krishna, then today will not be the same as yesterday. His love increases day by day. The two tracks of Krishna consciousness are hearing the glories of Krishna, which is Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, hearing and preaching. Secondly, service to the deities, serving and worshipping the deities, Bhagavad-Vidhi and Panch-Artika Vidhi. We are safe and we get to continue on the path. So these two things which we are doing, we are hearing and preaching Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and we have our deities at home. We have a relationship with them. Bhagavad-Gita, Bhagavad-Vidhi and Panch. Okay, we are safe and we get to continue on the path. Our motive should be to serve Krishna, and we will automatically feel the joy. So if you're not feeling the joy, then we're not doing a very good job at the moment. So we need to work on that. Sakhya metrim suhurdam cha sarathya-dishu samsamaran nirpam agrajam iti aha bashpa gadya gira. So Sakyam, well-wishing, Maitrim, benediction, Surdam, intimately related, Cha also, Sarathya Adishu, in becoming the chariot driver, Samsmaran, remembering all these, Nirpam, onto the king, Agrajam, the eldest brother, Itithas, Aha, said, Bashap, heavily breathing, Gadgadya, overwhelmingly, Gira, by speeches. So remembering Lord Krishna and his well-wishes, benefactions, intimate familial relations, and his chariot driving, Arjun, overwhelmed and breathing very heavily, began to speak. So, it's like all the thoughts, they come flooding back, all the moments, the intimate moments, and what sacrifice Krishna did for Arjun. He's just thinking about all the great things that happened. The supreme living being is perfect in all relations with his pure devotees. Shri Arjun is one of the typical pure devotees of the Lord, reciprocating in the fraternal relationship as friendship, and the Lord's dealing with Arjun are displays of friendship of the highest perfect order. So whatever relationship Krishna has with his devotee, he does to the highest perfect order. He was not only a well-wisher of Arjun, but actually a benefactor. And to make it still more perfect, the Lord tied him into a family relationship by arranging Subhadra's marriage with him. And above all, the Lord agreed to become a chariot driver of Arjun in order to protect his friend from warfare risks. He wanted to be there himself, personally, make sure that Arjun is safe. This is how amazing. So you can imagine his feelings, that Krishna thought about me so much, he cared about me so much, he even made me his brother-in-law, and he was with me on the battlefield, not side by side, but he was actually the driver, just to make sure that I have protection, because there's some Maharathis, there were a lot of Maharathis there who could defeat him. And the Lord became actually happy when he established the Pandavas to rule over the world. Arjun remembered all these one after another, and thus he became overwhelmed with such thoughts. So, it's very difficult when somebody's left, somebody's passed away, even that, if you start thinking about all the great things they've done, it's very difficult to cope with that. It's your emotions get all over the place, very, very difficult. You try to blank things out that you don't want to think about it, because you're going to get flood of tears. But when you start thinking, which Arjun is not able to stop, you can imagine what he's going through. So Arjun had so many different relationships with Krishna. In the material world, separation causes pain. In the spiritual world, separation increases the love. Krishna also strengthened the relationship with Arjun by marrying his sister, which you've said. So yeah, so very powerful moment. Okay. Arjuna Vacha Vanchitoham Maharaja Harina Bandhurupina Yenama Pritam Rejo Deva Vismapanam Mahat. So Arjun said, Vanchita, left by him, Aham myself, Maharaj, O king, Harina, by the personality Godhead, Bandhu Rupina, as if an intimate friend, Yena, by whom, me, my, Apaharitam, I have been bereft, Teja Pava, Deva, the demigod, Vismapanam, astonishing, Mahat, astounding. Arjun said, O king, the Supreme Personality Godhead Hari, who treated me exactly like an intimate friend, has left me alone. Thus my astounding power, which astonished even the demigod, is no longer with me. So he had that experience on the way. So in the Bhagavad-Gita 10:41, the Lord says, anyone specifically powerful and opulent in wealth, strength, beauty, knowledge, and all that is material desirable is to be considered but a product of an insignificant portion of the complete whole of my energy. So whatever we have, wealth, strength, beauty, Krishna will give it to you if you can handle it and it does not affect your relationship with him. He will give it to you, but it's a small fragment of his energy. No one therefore can be independently powerful in any measure without being endowed by the Lord. When the Lord descends to the earth along with his eternal, ever-liberating associates, he not only displays the divine energy possessed by himself, but also empowers his associate devotees with the required energy to execute his mission of incarnation. So that mission was complete with Arjun, so he no longer required that. It is also stated in the Bhagavad-Gita that the Lord and the eternal associates descend to the earth many times, but the Lord remembers all the different roles of incarnations, whereas the associates, by his supreme will, forget them. Similarly, the Lord takes away with him all his associates when he disappears from the earth. So, Krishna's pastimes, and also they say, there's a lot of contradictions in the scriptures. Krishna sees, and yet he doesn't see, and yet he has no eyes. Krishna walks, yet he has no legs. Krishna has eyes, but everything he has is transcendental. Our eyes, we think in eyes like our eyes. Our senses are imperfect. That's one of our defects. I'm wearing glasses, right? We're imperfect. We have to have help from external gadgets to see. But Krishna has perfect eyes. His eyes are so perfect. He can see the present, he can see the past, and he can see the future with those eyes. And we can't even remember our past. He can see everything. That's how perfect he is. And that's how perfect his senses are. So, similarly, the Lord takes away with him all his associates when he disappears from the earth. The power and energy which were bestowed upon Arjun were required for fulfillment of the mission of the Lord. But when his mission was filled, the emergency powers were withdrawn from Arjun, because the astounding powers of Arjun, which were astonishing even to the denizens of heaven, were no longer required, and they were not meant for going back home, back to Godhead. So Krishna will only give you enough energy, intelligence, beauty, strength. That is enough to take you back to Godhead. If endowment of powers and withdrawal of powers by the Lord are possible even for a great devotee like Arjun, or even the demigods in heaven, then what to speak of the ordinary living beings who are but figs compared to such great souls? They are, pure devotees, and we are Mishra Bhaktas. The lesson is, therefore, that no one should be puffed up for his powers borrowed from the Lord. Everything belongs to Krishna. The sane man should rather feel obliged to the Lord for such benefactions and must utilize such power for the service of the Lord. Such power can be withdrawn at any time by the Lord. So the best use of such power and opulence is to engage them in the service of the Lord. Yeah, you see the strongest of people, the best athletes, and next thing you hear that they got this problem, they develop Parkinson's, or they have some kind of disability problem, anything, or they got cancer. We have no control. Krishna has given us power and strength and beauty and everything, and he can withdraw it at any time. So we've got to be thankful to him for giving us what he has, what we thought we deserved, or what he thought that we needed. And as an emergency, we should use it in his service, because there might be just emergency powers that he's given us. Let's use them quickly before they're wound up, they're taken away. Everything we have should be used in the service of Krishna. Whether it's your wealth can be taken away very easily, right? It can go. And our bodily strength can be taken away. Our intelligence can be taken away, right? You can get problems with the mind. There's so many, people have mind issues. So there's so many problems of the mind and the body, especially with age. One thing goes, either your mind goes or your body goes, and even both can go. So we should think of whatever he has as emergency powers and use them in Krishna's service as much as we can. Not thinking I'll do this later on or in a few years or whatever, because we don't know, we might not be capable at that time. So Arjuna had first experienced that every single talent, skill, potency is coming from Krishna. Even if spent 10 years perfecting a skill is still endowed by the Lord. Arjuna was empowered by Krishna. The powers are withdrawn when the mission is finished and no longer required, which we've seen. It was the same Arjuna, the same Gandhi bow, and the same arrows, the same skillful archer, but yet the potency was lost. So these are to teach us, by example. Krishna allows you to do what you can do. If we are able to offer any service, we should be obliged to the Lord for our ability, for giving us the power to do it. Best to use our powers in the service of the Lord. Krishna disempowers to make us dependent on him. When we learn to depend on him, he empowers us again. So, should always be depending on Krishna, always remembering Krishna in every situation. And finally, we'll do 6. Yasya shan viyogena loko hi apriya darshana ukthena rahito hi esha mritakaha prochate yatha. So yasya, whose shan moment, viyogan, by separation, loka, all the universes, he certainly, apriya darshan, everything appears unfavorable, ukthena, by life, rahitha, being devoid of, he certainly, esha, all these bodies, mritkaha, dead bodies, prochate, are designated, yatha, as it were. And translation: I have just lost him whose separation for a moment would render all the universes unfavorable and void, like bodies without life. Factually, for a living being, there is no one dearer than the Lord. The Lord expands himself by innumerable parts and parcels as Swamsha and Vibhinamsha. So Paramatma is a Swamsha part of the Lord, whereas the Vibhinamsha parts are the living beings. As the living being is the important factor in the material body, for without the living being, the material body has no value. Similarly, without Paramatma, the living being has no status quo. Similarly, Brahman or Paramatma has no focus or no locus standing without the Supreme Lord Krishna. This is thoroughly explained in the Bhagavad-Gita. They are interlinked with one another or interdependent factors. Thus, in the ultimate issue, the Lord is the sublime bonum and therefore the vital principle of everything. So, here 6, Krishna is holding everything like pearls on a string. With a string cannot be seen, yet everything is nicely arranged. So, this is the conclusion of this verse, that in the background Krishna is controlling everything, just like pearls are strung on a string, but we cannot see the string, we just see the pearls when it's nicely made. You see the pearls, and Krishna says that in I think chapter 10 of Bhagavad-Gita, that everything is held together by me. Wonderful. So many lessons for us, and Arjun is also thinking back as well, his experiences and what's just happened, that how Krishna, when he was there, things were different, and now how everything's changed, and why has it, he's like thinking, why has it changed? Well, this is the reason. Srila Prabhupada explained that those powers are no longer required. All that's required is now for them to go back to Godhead, and that's the only thing that is important. Okay, we'll stop sharing. Hare Krishna. So we'll ask Hina Mataji, and then we can, just in case Mataji needs to go. Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome back. Thank you for the class, Prabhu. Just had a few points for today's class. Obviously, we're kind of going over the verses which explains how aggrieved Arjuna is, and now that he's been physically separated from Krishna, and how you nicely mentioned how these symptoms can't be faked. And I think it's nice because it gives us a benchmark of what kind of relationship Arjuna had with Krishna. A very close, loving, intimate relationship, and obviously they were bound through family relations as well. But it almost highlights the kind of relationship we should be striving for with Krishna through chanting, through serving him, serving our deities, as you mentioned, and remembering him also. So I think, all of us are eternally have that relationship, a similar relationship. It's just that we've forgotten. So that's kind of what we should be striving for. And then obviously the latter point that you covered was just about how all our everything that we've been given, all our skills and our talents, etc., which have been endowed by the Lord. Krishna's given these specifically to us for use in this life. These in turn should also equally be used back in his service. So that's really ultimately the main purpose of these skills that we have, anything that we're good at, anything that that we can offer to the world. If we can directly offer those back to him in some level of service, that's like the ultimate good. That's the best use of that skill. That's the best use of that gift that we've been given, or wealth, or whatever we might have, or intelligence, whatever we might have. So those were my thoughts. So thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Yeah, perfect. All our skills and even this gross body, mind, senses, everything should be used in service, just because he's given us these as well, and everything is for his service. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Punikaksh Prabhu, Hare Hare Bo.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. Hare Krishna, all devotees. Arjuna, all the Pandavas are very special for Krishna, but again, Arjuna stands out of all the devotees. He has got a special position in the heart of Krishna. And we can see, like, Arjuna, even though he's a Nitya Siddha, always come to take a role in the Krishna's Leela, but even he was showing that he was missing Krishna. As soon as Krishna is departed, he is feeling that loneliness now. So as Mahaprabhu says, Yogaitam Nimishena Chakshuva Pranvakshaitam Sunyaitam Jagat Sarvam Govinda Virahaname. So devotees always depend on Krishna and they don't want to miss Krishna even for a second. And Arjuna came as Ramanand Rai in Mahaprabhu Leela, and in a lovely discussion between Mahaprabhu and Ramanand Rai, in such a way that Mahaprabhu asked him to leave the job and come to Jagannath Puri. I want to keep on discussing with you. That much he found interesting when he's talking to Ramanand Rai. And that is Arjuna. And Krishna can do anything for the protection of his devotee. So even he became a chariot driver, or entire Mahabharata we have seen no instance where Krishna is not there when they need them, when they are in need or help. So Krishna is there for all of us as well, always protecting us, but depends on how much we render service to Krishna, how much we have faith in Krishna. As Krishna says again in Bhagavad-Gita, I reward according to one's approach towards me. So the more we have trust and approach Krishna, the more Krishna is going to protect us. And whatever is given to us, as Mataji and Prabhuji also said, so everything is given as a gift to us. And again, it depends on how much we please Krishna, that much Krishna will also give you. So if you are very good in giving class or Sankirtan or book distribution, whatever it is, again, it's only because of the mercy of Krishna you are getting that talent, and then you have to utilize in the Krishna service. That's why Krishna give only to those who can utilize. He know that okay, these like Dhruva Maharaj, he has given so much of opulence because he know that Dhruva Maharaj is already elevated now, and he know that he became a devotee. That's why he gave him. So Krishna will give only to those who are elevated or pure in their consciousness. That's all, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Yeah, are we in care of Maya Devi or care of Lord Krishna? So whoever you are in care of, they will take care of you. And when Maya Devi takes care of us, then we find out, because she likes to probe us with the three prongs. So we will serve. That's what we do. We will serve either Maya Devi or Krishna. So we have a choice. Who do you want to serve? Because one you will have to serve, just the way things are. We have to do karma. We cannot. Bhagavad-Gita tells us that even renouncing doesn't mean you're not going to do anything. You'll still be doing. So, but who are we serving mentally and physically, Maya Devi or Krishna? And the more we serve Krishna, the more he will take care of us. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Yeah, Kiran Prabhu, Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, everybody. Fabulous verses. You can clearly see that Krishna is the ultimate controller. He is the master of the universe. He is perfect. We are imperfect, but we are trying to develop qualities and align ourselves with the qualities that Krishna has. And Arjuna was his dearest friend, his brother-in-law, and Krishna was his chariot driver. And you can see that they had this intimate relationship, and hence Krishna's departure was such a painful experience. Arjuna experienced dejection, distress, and separation. These are all symptoms of attachment. If we love somebody so much, unconditionally, our attachment to that particular individual is greater. And this loss was such a loss that you could deal with it in two ways. You could be in denial, or you can actually face up to it and say, I've lost my greatest benefactor. And obviously Krishna goes, but he never leaves us. But as material entities, we often think, oh, when somebody leaves us because of our attachment to them and because of our psychological connections and emotional connections, we feel a great deal of loss. There are people we lose in the world and think because we've had very little attachment to them, people will come and go. But some people have a greater attachment with us. And hence, this is the kind of relationship we must work towards developing with Krishna. The relationship Arjuna had with Krishna. This is also an indicator that nothing in this world is permanent. This is just a temporary feature. But Krishna teaches us that whilst it's temporary, the potential is there for eternality. But to fructify and develop those good qualities that he's teaching us throughout Bhagavatam, throughout Bhagavad-Gita, and throughout the Chaitanya Chamritas. And everything that Srila Prabhupada has taught us and has given to us has given us those values that Arjuna had. He was a pure devotee. Until you become a pure devotee, you cannot experience that loss that Arjuna experienced. The more you give, the more you will experience. The more joy and bliss we will attain. Of course, time, place, and circumstances are different. When you can carry the Gandhava with strength, and then later on you find you can't do the 100 meters in 12 seconds, that goes with age. But accept with grace that these things do happen with time. But don't forget our relationship with divinity, because that's the only constant that we have. Surrender to his lotus feet and be 100% dependent upon his mercy.
Thank you, Ru. Yeah, I always wanted to do 100 meter in 12 seconds. So pretty tough going. Thank you, Ru. Praveen Mataji, Hari Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Just feeling so fortunate that Srila Prabhupada has given us, because, all the literatures, because we run after material relations which don't really give us anything apart from the pain. And we are missing the spiritual connection with the Lord, who is the controller and protector. But when you're reading, like, we are not crying, we are not feeling the separation, it just made me realize, yes, how far we are still from Krishna, although we are I'm trying to chant, I'm trying to do little reading here and there, but still so far away, because we still don't feel that separation from Krishna, because we do our chanting and we feel that, yes, I've done my 16 rounds. It's still not like, yes, I want to keep chanting. So it gives an Arjuna as well, he's realizing all the, good things that have happened to him is the mercy of the Lord. It's all happened because of Krishna. Whereas we sometimes we feel proud, oh, I've done this, I've done that, but it's all mercy. Krishna gives us everything, whatever is needed to serve him and to go back to Godhead. So we should be content with whatever we have and use it in the service of the Lord. And always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And Pandavas, how they were totally dependent on Krishna only. They didn't know anything else, only Krishna. Despite being like the best warrior, archer, he didn't have the pride that, yes, I've done this, but he felt it was all because of Krishna. So very nice verses. Thank you so much. But I did miss the sessions. So yeah, something is there in the heart. And I think the last verse you said, the Falshruti is you get Hari Bhakti. So yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for engaging us and giving us your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Malik. Thank you for engaging me. That I enjoy hearing from everyone and learning from everyone. Thank you so much, Mataji. Okay, Ajay.
Hare Krishna. Yes, these verses just help us realize how dependent we are on Krishna, really. It's just, we take for granted the ability to see, the ability to walk, the ability to breathe, anything. It's because the Lord desired it. That's why we can do it. It's not that we desired it, so we have it automatically. It's everything's due to Him. He gave us, we want, and unfortunately, we want to enjoy without Him. That's why He gave us this world. Everything is His mercy, His patience with us, His desire for us to come back to Him. And then when you have a pure devotee like Arjun, then it becomes even more, that separation becomes even more intense because he's fully aware just how dependent he is on Krishna, how none of it would have been possible really. Being, for example, he would have passed away, when he was a young boy, when Duryodhana and company tried to poison him. Never mind getting to the battlefield and eventually vanquishing the Kauravas. It's all down to Krishna's. It's Krishna's desire to glorify devotees. Krishna's sanction that we can do any sort of service for him. We can be of any use to him. We can be making use of our own lives. It's very, we take it for granted, really, unfortunately, which is unfortunate because even if we are serving, we can forget about Krishna from time to time. We get caught up in mundane issues, and that's what kind of stops us from really taking that next step. We have to try, when we always say put Krishna at the center, make Krishna focus on our lives, everything has to be for Krishna. When everything's done to please Krishna, then things start working out. Even if there are problems, it still work out because you're pleasing Krishna. That's the main focus. And that's what we learned from Arjuna, that now that he doesn't have Krishna's direct association, there isn't that opportunity to get Krishna's guidance directly, an opportunity to serve him directly. Everything seems meaningless. I think that many devotees have mentioned that point, really, that until we get to that, we need to get to that sort of feeling where we are everything, we feel that we are really properly serving Krishna, not just thinking of Krishna and then switching off and then coming back to him now, time to time. There has to be that permanence there, that sense that, yes, we really are, we are Krishna conscious, not just semi-Krishna conscious, I would say. And yes, that's the beauty of reading these verses, trying to develop that sort of ras, you would say. I think Arjuna and Sakya we need to try and develop some sort of mellow for Krishna, or understand what is our real mellow. And that's what help us progress in our bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Yeah, Krishna is ready to give us a perfect relationship, but are we ready for that perfect relationship? Can we reciprocate in that perfect relationship? That's the only thing we need to work on. Okay, Radharani?
Hare Krishna, everyone. My pranams to all of you. Yes, start of another beautiful chapter, and Krishna is telling us through the Pandavas, through his eternal associates in these verses, that the devotional service in the separation, that mode is only going to take us back to Godhead. And our Gaudiya Vaishnavism is also, our Sampradaya is also based on this bhav. So these subtle connections we have to develop, and we have to nurture them. And it's not just that, thinking that giving your best when you are at your best, you have to give your best no matter how your other agencies given to Krishna in your life, the body, the mind, how they are working. You have to have a constant, and that constant is the separation from the Lord. Only that is going to take us back to Godhead, nothing else. And also I just thought that, when we get ill, and how difficult things become, even, to do your day-to-day jobs in your life, never mind the devotional service, because I think that is the last on your agenda at that moment when you're not 100%. So that is a little taster actually Krishna gives us every time we fall sick. That, my sweetheart, this sums up you this is what you are. And we think that, yes, I have become from a neophyte to, okay, so I'm becoming a Madhyamadhikari now. I'm trying to do good devotional service. We have got nothing in our hands. We are not capable of anything. If Krishna wants, he makes the best devotional service coming out of those devotees who are sometimes, really, really challenged in their situations, like our own Guru Maharaj, His Holiness Jaipataka Maharaj, Guru Maharaj. And so there are lessons, there are hints everywhere around us. And it's up to us how we take them and how serious we are, how we understand the whole thing, this whole illusion we are in day and day after, day in and day after in this life, and not to get, too much associated and too much influenced by the Maya Devi. Remember the Yog Maya Devi, who is orchestrating everything up there in Golok Vrindavan, in the Vaikunthas, and how she inspires and how she makes everything happen in the devotional service up there and in the Leelas we hear. So yes, big posts for us to reach before we think that, yes, I think we have just started our bhakti. We should always think that, and then we'll be very good students. And if we think that in bhakti we have achieved this much in these many years or these many months, that is going to pull us back, because envy and ego are our two main enemies in our life, whether it's material and in spiritual as well. So let's pray to Krishna that, Krishna, please keep us on straight and narrow path, and please keep us guiding through this, massive task in our life. The only big task in our life is to do the devotional service for Krishna sincerely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thanks so much. And I've seen that Krishna gives you the energy as well as the facility, the bodily functions. He gives the energy to serve him. And sometimes you may feel that I don't have the energy. And I've heard from other devotees as well that they like to do more, but they just don't have that energy. And my own personal experience is that Krishna gives just enough energy to serve him, because he knows that that's how much energy you need to serve him. If he gives you more energy, you're going to use it in nonsense, talking nonsense, doing nonsense, going to nonsense, just, I think I'll pop down here and I'll go and do this, because you have the excess energy to do it. And Krishna doesn't want, he is protecting us. If he gives you just enough energy to serve him, he's protecting us. He knows any more. It's like a father giving his child some money. Son says, give me like £100. The father knows, if I give him £100, he's going to misuse it. I'll give him £10 or £20. That's all he needs, for whatever his pocket money. So if he gives 100, he's going to buy nonsense things, make himself ill. So like that, and this is my experience. This is what I've noticed anyway. Krishna will give you just enough, so you don't have the extra time and energy to go and do nonsense and think, I can do this, I can fit this into my bhakti, I can fit this nonsense also into my bhakti. He wants to give you enough as a devotee. He wants to give you enough that you stay on the straight and narrow and not keep diverting here and there and trying to come back, because there's so much energy going on. And if you want to do more service, and which I do, I say, Krishna, give me more energy, and I'm trying to promise you that I will use it in your service, and I won't use it, doing like material things. I'll try and use it in your service. But Krishna knows our mentality. Like Prabhupada said, we are rascals. We forget when we get the extra energy, extra power, then we try and indulge in other things and forget Krishna. So
and I was also thinking that Krishna knows that just having highs and lows in our bhakti is not going to be good for us. We'll just get knackered if we do too much, and if we do too little, then we'll totally get away from bhakti. So Krishna just keeps us in control. He's our father. He's our eternal father. He knows us more than we know ourselves.
Okay, thank you so much. Granthra Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki
Bhagavatam
jai.
ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Gaur Prem Nande.
Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari. We'll catch up Monday.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.